stand up, Wesley? Y'all give Wesley a hand. Where are you from? And
from Waco, outskirts of Waco, a small town. Unfortunately, I just got out over here 7 stones. Lord opened the door for me to come this way and be a part of y'all's lives. Y'all be a part of my life. So I appreciate y'all listening.
we love you. We have another fella coming on the 23rd. 26. We need about 21 more. Fill it up. But we're getting there. God's opening doors. It's good to have Scotty G here today.
Yeah.
Scotty, man, I haven't heard you sing in a while, so that was very refreshing. Scotty G. So today we're talking a little bit about lordship, and I told you last week we would touch on that a little bit, about lordship, having Jesus Christ in the center of our lives. As I was preparing for this, I came across a little story about a kindergarten teacher who was walking around the classroom. And there was this little girl who was drawing a picture. She was really getting after it, you know. The teacher stopped and said, "Hey, what are you drawing?" And the little girl said, "I'm drawing a picture of Jesus." And the teacher said, "Nobody really knows what Jesus looks like." And the little girl said, "When I'm finished, they'll know what Jesus looks like." But, you know, what does Jesus look like? And we're not talking about the physical appearance here. Well, what does Jesus look like? When Jesus says, "Follow me," what does he mean by that? And by the way, when Jesus says, "Follow me," he's not talking about his Twitter account. He's not talking about his Twitter account. I love this verse. It's one of my favorite verses. We're actually going to be out of Luke 9:23 today. We're going to focus on that verse. But I want to preface that with a verse out of, and let me just read it to you, out of John chapter 14:21. Listen to this verse. It says, "He that hath my commandments," this is Jesus speaking, "he that has my commandments and keeps them, he it is that loves me, and he that loves me shall be loved by the Father." Listen to this. "And I will be loved, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him." I will manifest. I love that. I'll manifest. Jesus wants to manifest himself to you. He wants to manifest himself to me. You want to know what Jesus looks like? Jesus looks like when you allow him to manifest himself. I mean, that's really what Jesus looks like. He looks like us. When people see us, they should see Jesus, right?
Amen.
This is what Jesus looks like. If we follow John 14:21 qualifies that by saying, "Hey, if you have my commandments, you have my instructions, and if you'll keep those instructions and follow me, I will manifest myself in you." Isn't that an awesome truth? Isn't that an awesome truth? That we can be Jesus to other people. Jesus can draw people to himself through us. I mean, that for me, that's pretty profound. I just love that truth. Today we're looking at Luke 9:23. We're going to talk a little bit about that, about being followers of Jesus Christ, what it really means to have Jesus manifest himself in us. In Luke 9:23, Jesus speaking here, and Jesus says to them all, he says, "If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." If any man will come after me. Let's just slow down a little bit and take that a little bit at a time. If anyone would come after me, this come after right here, or this follow Jesus, the word come after, I want you to understand that in the Greek text, it has a little different spin on it. It means to enter into something. If anyone would come after me, if anyone would like to enter in, if anyone would like to, we would say set foot in. If you're ready to set foot in something, if anyone would set foot in, if anyone would enter into, if you would be willing to cross the threshold There's a lot of places I would never want to set foot in. There are a lot of places I would love to set foot in. There's some of the most beautiful places in the world that would be awesome to set foot in, right? But I mean, I'm thinking about some things I would like to set foot in. I wish I could have set foot in. Way back in the Old Testament, wouldn't it have been cool to have set foot in the Red Sea?
Amen.
I mean, really, that'd be pretty cool. Think about that. The Israelites following Moses. The Israelites stepped foot in the Red Sea. Can you picture that for just a moment? Those massive vertical walls of water. At nighttime, when the moon's not shining, all that there is this glow that God's presence actually provides. And they're stepping foot in to this dry land, the seabed. They stepped foot in that by faith. God got them to the other side, destroyed their enemies. I would have liked to have stepped foot in the Jordan River. I'm talking about when the Israelites were crossing the Jordan River, when the priests were leading them across, when the priests had the Ark of the Covenant, that represents the presence of God. And now, if you remember the story, the Jordan was at flood stage levels. This wasn't the little calm Jordan. This was flood stage Jordan, rapid water. And God says, just have the priests step their feet into the Jordan. Step foot into the rapid water. The obstacle, the thing that's standing in your way, keeping you from getting to the other side. Go ahead and by faith, step into it. Are there obstacles in your life today that you may be afraid to step forward into? I mean, that would have been cool to watch that water get cut off, a path made across to the other side, to the promised land. What about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They stepped foot into what? What did they step foot into?
Fiery furnace.
Fiery furnace. They stepped foot by faith. They stepped foot into a fiery furnace. Trusting God by faith. I mean, their attitude was, well, look, he's either going to save us or he's not. Or he's not, but we know he can, and we're going to be faithful. Stepping foot into moving forward beyond the threshold of what might be normally considered comfortable. If anyone would come after me, Jesus says. If anyone's willing to step beyond the threshold of what's comfortable by faith. Think about that. Think about that. I mean, crossing that threshold, passing into another area that may not be all that comfortable in the world in which we live today when it comes to following Jesus Christ. Notice the verse also says, not only does it say, if any man would come after me, it says, let him deny himself. Let him deny himself. Now, when we look at that verse, and I like the way the New Living Translation renders it, because it says, if anyone wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way. Let him deny himself. You must give up your own way. You must give up your own way. There's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different paths we could choose. I mean, we know that Proverbs chapter 16:25, it says that there is a way that seems right. There is a way. There is a course of life. That's what that word means. There's a course of life that seems right. There are a lot of courses of life that might seem right to our human logic and deduction. We've got these plans, these designs, these purposes. They seem right. So when we read this and it says, let him deny himself, he's saying, let him give up his own way. Let him give up his own path. Let him give up his own little designs So we know that Proverbs 16:25 tells us that that way that seems right leads to death. Separation from God. Galatians 2:20. Remember when Paul was saying in Galatians 2:20, I'm crucified with Christ. I'm crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live, yet not I, but Christ lives in me in this life, which I now live by the faith. I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Look at how many times he used the word I right there in that verse. 5 times. And he's using it. Every time he uses it, notice the tense here. He's saying, I am crucified with Christ. I, past tense. I, the old Paul, the old Saul, I am crucified with Christ. I died with Christ. Notice he says that. I died with Christ. I'm crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I, the new Paul, live. I'm alive. The old guy's dead. The new Paul's alive. I'm alive. Yet not I. It's not me. It's not really me who's alive. It says it's Christ who lives in me. Christ living in me. And it says, in this life which I, present tense, now live in this flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. So we're talking about getting outside of our own designs, our own plans, getting into Christ's plans, stepping forward through that threshold into faith, giving ourselves fully to Jesus Christ, so that we're dead and he's alive. That's what the church is. That's what the church is. We're Christ.
Amen.
Alive to other people. And so in order to do that, we've got to deny ourselves. We've got to completely disown who we used to be. It'd be great if we just forget. You know, Margaret Thatcher, who was the Prime Minister for the UK, wrote in a book she was writing about how she was visiting this residential home for elderly people who had memory issues. She said she was going around visiting these elderly people, and they recognized her. And then she came across this one lady who didn't even recognize her. And Miss Thatcher said, ma'am, do you recognize me? Do you know who I am? That's what she asked her. Do you know who I am? And the little lady said, no, but the nurse usually does. The nurse usually knows. These people forgot who they were because of a disease. It's not a pretty thing. Kill my mom. That kind of stuff. But wouldn't it be able to just sort of forget who we were and only know who we are in Jesus Christ? Without having to go through some horrible disease. Denying ourselves means to affirm that you have no connection whatsoever with who you were. It's affirming that the old man, that old person that you were, no longer exists once you've gotten into Jesus Christ. You know, what happens a lot of times is we hinder the power of God in our lives because we're still hanging on to some part of that old person who we were. There's some part of that old person we haven't allowed to enter through the threshold and fully follow Jesus. Now, I'm not saying that applies to you. Maybe this isn't speaking to you at all about anything that's going on in your life. Or maybe there's not any area in your life you're still kind of holding back from crossing through that threshold. But if there's some area of your life that you haven't allowed to set foot in that threshold, fully be yielded to Jesus Christ, And what's happening is you're choosing to impede the power of God in your life. I'm choosing to impede the power of God in my life. We see that in Scripture. We see that very clearly in Psalm 78. In Psalm chapter 78, verse 41, you remember when the Israelites, they wanted to go back to Egypt? They would rather go back to their place of bondage because they were just a little more comfortable there. It was their place of bondage. It was their comfort zone, even though it was a zone of bondage. And Psalm 78:41 says that they limited the power of God. Anytime there's a part of my life, anytime there's a part of your life that's still looking back towards something that God said, I want you to leave alone, I want you to move beyond, anytime you're hanging on to that, you're hindering the power of God. You're limiting the power of the omnipotent God. It's pretty profound truth. We're going to look at one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up. I don't want to throw a whole bunch of stuff out there today. I just want to get a point across, something for you to chew on. I want to look at Luke. We're still in Luke. We're in 9. I'm going to read this passage. We're in Luke chapter 9, verses 57 through 62. And in Luke chapter 9, verses 57 through 62, it says, it came to pass that as they, talking about Jesus and his disciples, went in the way, a certain man said unto Jesus. So Jesus and his disciples are walking along, and a certain man comes up to Jesus, and a certain man says to Jesus, hey, Jesus, I'll follow you wherever you go. I'll follow you. And this is what Jesus said to him. Jesus said, foxes have holes. Birds of the air have nests. But the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. In other words, Jesus was saying, hey, if you're going to follow me, it's not going to be very convenient for you. It's not going to be convenient. Well, we never hear from that guy again. I mean, that's the last time we heard from that guy. We don't see anything else written about that guy. So, Jesus turned and saw somebody else and said to another person, hey, you, follow me. Follow me. Here's what the guy said. He said, Lord, let me first go and bury my father. Nothing wrong with burying your father, right? Jewish funerals can take up to a year. You know, they would put them in a tomb, they would let their bodies decay until they became bones, and then they'd put them in an ossuary, a little box, and then that would be the end of the funeral. It's a long, drawn-out process. I'm going to go bury my father. He was basically asking Jesus, give me about a year. Lord, let me first go spend a year doing something else. Lord, me first. Lord, me first. That doesn't even go together, does it? You call him Lord and then say me first. Lord, let me first. You shouldn't even go in the same sentence. And then we see Jesus said to another one, rather, also said, Lord, there was another guy who came and said, Lord, I will follow you, but let me first. Here we go again. Lord, me first. Let me go say farewell to my family. Jesus said, hey, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. Jesus is saying, look, if you're still trying to hang on to something, you're not going to be very effective in the mission of the kingdom of God. You gotta let go. I want to just throw a couple questions out there for you, and we'll close this thing out. Is there any area of my life, is there any area is still following your own way. Think about that. Is there any area of my life, is there any area of your life that hasn't fully entered through the threshold of following Jesus Christ? Just think about that. Anybody know what a hillbilly speed bump is? Anybody ever heard of a hillbilly speed bump? Huh? An armadillo. There we got one. I don't know what a hillbilly speed bump is. Yeah, you know, there's like 30 to 50 million armadillos in America. And they say almost 500,000 armadillos get run over every year. Now, over in my neighborhoods in northeast Texas, we see a lot of that. These armadillos decide to hang out in the middle of the road for some reason, and they become speed bumps. Roadkill. Hanging out in the middle of the road is not a very safe place to be. So let me ask you one more question and we'll close this out. Is there any area of my life, is there any area of your life in which you're still straddling the middle of the road when it comes to the Lordship of Jesus Christ? Now, I've got some outlines for this message sitting back there by Scotty G. You guys are welcome to take one. Study them on your own. Maybe God will illuminate something else to you. But He hasn't illuminated to me. I love you guys. Let's go ahead and stand. We'll close this out.